So in today's session, we are going to discuss about inbound emails. So you can say inbound email actions. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about inbound email actions. So before we go ahead and discuss about inbound email actions, first of all, you have to understand what is inbound, what is outbound. Okay, when ServiceNow sends an email, that is called outbound email. When ServiceNow receives an email, that we call it as inbound email. ServiceNow will receive the email. As ServiceNow can send email, similarly, ServiceNow can also receive the email. Okay. When ServiceNow receives an email, we call it as inbound email. Okay. Outbound means when ServiceNow sends. Inbound means when ServiceNow receives email. Okay. You understand outbound emails. In the outbound emails, let me just yeah. I think hmm? That is a different instance, right? Okay. So this one, let us take this one. Shipping case. Okay. So we have seen when inserted or updated, event is fired, triggered. Triggered means if you want to trigger the notification from the flow designer, you will select a triggered here. Okay. You will select a triggered here. Okay. So we understand when record is inserted or updated, when event is fired, we understand about these two. Well, here in the who will receive, we'll select the static users. We'll select the static groups. Okay. You will select the fields, use caller assignment group. Whoever is there in the caller assignment group, that person will be receiving the email. Exclude delegates means, so when somebody is going on leave, okay, in his absence, he will delegate his roles to someone. Okay, in his absence, he'll delegate roles to someone. Okay. So that delegates also should receive the email. The delegate should not receive the email. Exclude delegates. You can see here. Do not send notifications to any delegates of this notifications recipient. So usually there is a delegation here in ServiceNow. If you are going on vacation, you can give your responsibilities to someone. That person is called a delegate. That person is called a delegate. So don't send emails to delegates. Exclude delegates. Event creator. Suppose event is fired by you. Suppose event is fired by you, and you also should receive the email. So event will be fired, right? Let us say you deleted the record. Once you deleted the record, it will create an event. Event will be created with your name. Event will be created with your name. If the event is created with your name, if the event is created with your name, then also email should go means you have to select this checkbox. Okay. Event param 1 contains recipient. So in the event, we know, right? In the business rules, in the gs.event queue, event name, object name, event param 1 and event param 2. So we will write event param 1 in the event param 1 will write email. The event param 2 will write email. So if those two should receive the email means you will select these checkboxes. Okay. So subscribable means, so if you make it subscribable, okay, param 1 item table name, subscribable, these two params are recently added, looks like. We'll see more about subscribable. We did not ever use the subscribe option, guys. Administrators should create a subscription-based notification when they do not want to specify users for a notification. So you can see here, the notifications that administrators mark as unsubscribable are automatically available in user notification settings. Users are limited to one subscription per notification. Okay. Administrator should create a subscription-based notifications when they don't want to specify users for a notification and want to let users proactively subscribe for a notification. That means here there will be notification preferences. So whatever the notification that you make it as subscribable. So what it is mentioned here is that if you want to do, if you don't want to send specify any user here, if you don't want to any specify any user here, okay. If you want to make this notification subscribable for everyone, okay. So this is event based, right? Affected field on event. The item table. The record contains sensitive or protected data. Consider restricting the recipients list only to those. Consider restricting the recipient list only to those users groups who normally have access to it. Do not enable the subscribe option. You can also configure your notification content so that private and sensitive data is not exposed. For example, you could insert a line back to the associated record so that details are not revealed in the notification. System does not exclude recipients based on access control. Recipients can receive email about the records that they don't normally access to for the user interface. So it is confusing, guys. Even we did not use that subscribable checkbox. Okay. So you can ignore for now. Okay. So here in the what it will contain. So if the record has any attachments, in the shipping case record, we made attachment mandatory. So that means once we attach the attachment, only then it is allowing you to submit, right? So you will attach the attachments. Those attachments also should be included in the notification. So then you will check this checkbox. Okay. So omit watermark. Watermark in the sense, guys, the email, the particular email is sent from this particular record. Okay. This particular email is sent from this particular record. So like record has system ID, right? Like every email has watermark. Like every record has system ID, right? Whenever a record is created, system ID will be generated, right? Whenever an email is sent out, whenever an email is sent out, from which particular record it is sent out, based on that, watermark will be added. Watermark will be added. Okay. So if you don't want the watermark, you can uncheck this box. You can check this checkbox so that watermark will not be added on the form, added on the email. The watermark look like this one. Okay. So this is how the watermark look like. This is how the watermark will look like. So whenever an email is sent out from ServiceNow, immediately watermark will be added. If you don't want the watermark, you can actually check this checkbox. So you can set the importance for email, high importance, low importance. So ServiceNow will send an email from ServiceNow email address. Instead of ServiceNow email address, if you want to keep your email address, ServiceNow will send an email as if you are sending an email on behalf of you. Okay. Okay. With your name, with your email address, ServiceNow will be sending an email. So reply to when the opposite person replies the email, what should be the replied email? So email address to be used when replying to the email notification. So these push messages are for mobile notifications, guys. We don't use them. So email template. So email template in the sense, if you have some standard, if your organization has some standard template for email notifications, if your organization has some standard template in the sense the organization has some standard templates like a company logo. Under company logo, they add some images and all. So if they have some standard templates, they will use that email template here. So we have different templates. We have different templates. So somebody has asked, what is the use of watermark in the email? So watermark is used to identify from which particular record the email is sent. I already told you. You open a shipping case record. You open a shipping case record. Let us say from this particular record, the email is sent out. So that is a watermark. See, let us say whatever the document that I share, I'll add my watermark. That means Uday Gadiparthi, from Uday Gadiparthi, this document has come out. You got my point? If you take a look at here, so here you can see this ucsinfotech is a watermark here. ucsinfotech is a watermark. What exactly this means? This material is out from ucsinfotech. Nobody has a right except ucsinfotech. So I have added this watermark because this document is from UCS. Similarly, whenever an email is out, the email will be added a watermark that this email is sent out from this particular record. I think Priya, you understand. Okay. Fine. So templates we are discussing now. Templates we are discussing, right? So this is the template. This is the template. They have added their Acme Corporation. user. We recently contacted with our. You recently contacted with our customer support. You constantly strive to serve our customers better. We would appreciate your feedback on the quality of your service. Please click on below link to take your survey. So this is the email script. Dollar flower brackets mail underscore script colon email script name. So what you have done is you have actually created a template. This template, you can use it for multiple notifications. Getting my point? This template, you can use it for multiple notifications. Okay. So here in this template, this is the subject. This is the subject that you kept. This is the body. So here I'm not keeping any subject here. I'm not keeping any body here. Whatever you mentioned in the template will be taken out. Getting my point? So this is a template, standard template. So that what happens? Subject will be taken from the template. Subject will be taken from the template. Okay. And body will be taken from the template. I am giving you a task. I am giving you a task. The task is that you are setting the subject from the template. You are setting the body from the template. You are again setting the subject. You are writing your own subject here. You are writing the message HTML here. Again, you are writing the email script as well. So you have three things here. One is email template. One is writing subject and body here, and third one is writing email script. Through the email script, you will override the subject and body. Finally, what will override and all? You tell me, guys. You are getting my point. See, you are able to set the subject from here. You are able to set the body from here. You are able to write the subject from here. You are able to write the body from here. You are able to override the subject from the email script. You are able to override the body from the email script. So what will be the final result? Okay. So you just give a try. You just give a try. So if you want to create a template, email template, you can go to a email template. There should be email templates. So the table name is EC1 underscore email template table. You create a template here. You write the subject. Write the message HTML. Okay. Give the template name. So you can keep the table name as none. Okay. You can give the table name as none. So you can write the subject. You can write the message HTML. You can create a template. And you can use the template in the email notification. You can use the template in the email notification. So when you use that when you use the template in the email notification, subject and message email body will be populated from the template. After that, write your own subject and write your own body and check which one is actually overriding. Okay. And third one, email script. Email script finally will override. Okay, email script will finally override. And check email template is actually overriding or subject, the subject and the message HTML is overriding, or you have to check it. Okay. Okay. Well, we understand about notifications. We understand about notifications. Now we will understand about outbound email properties. Outbound email properties. So guys, let us say ServiceNow has sent an email, but the opposite person has not received. But the opposite person has not received email. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? So maybe he doesn't have email address. That could be one reason. Maybe he is inactive user. That could be another reason. Hmm? Okay. Third one, in the email properties, you have to go to email properties. Okay. So this checkbox is not checked. ServiceNow won't be able to send the emails. ServiceNow, see, email sending enabled checkbox is true. Email receiving enabled checkbox is true. So when this checkbox is checked, ServiceNow can send out an email. When this checkbox is checked, ServiceNow will allow to receive the email. Well, here this email sending enabled should be only done in the production instances. We don't check this checkbox in the non-production instances. If you enable it in the non-production instances, unnecessary emails will go to the email inboxes. So that is why we don't enable this checkbox for non-production instances. Okay. We will enable only this for production instance. Non-production instance, it will be inactivated. Okay. So in the non-production instance, you will actually provide test email so that it will be sending all the emails through this test email. Okay. If you want to test anything in the non-production instances, you enable this one and you have to provide, send all emails to test email address in the non-production testing. So in the shipping case field, you have resolved it, closed it, closed. We have date fields, right? For date fields, if you want to append the time zone as well, in the email notification, it will also append the time zone. Suppose in the email body, let us say, in the email body, you have any date type of field here. Consider you have any date type of field here. And it will show the date here, right? To the date, it should extend the time zone as well. Then in the email properties, you have to check this checkbox. So create a visible watermark in the email. If false, create invisible watermark via hidden div tag. So that means in the email notification, if you are allowing to add the watermark, and that watermark should be a visible watermark, means you have to check this checkbox. If this checkbox is not checked, means watermark will be there in the email notification, but it will be hidden. You understand my point? So in the email notification, you did not check the omit watermark checkbox. That means it will add the watermark on the email. So once it add the watermark on the email, so it should be shown, it should be displayed, means you have to check the checkbox. It should be hidden, means you will uncheck the checkbox. Okay. So guys, the email is, whenever ServiceNow sends an email, then ServiceNow sends an email if it is receiving an error. Okay, resend email if server returns these SMTP error codes. When ServiceNow sends an email, if ServiceNow receives these email errors, these are actually email error codes 421, 450, 451, 452. So these errors means ServiceNow will try to resend the email. Don't resend email if server returns these SMTP error codes. So if below errors are coming, ServiceNow don't try to resend. And resend if when email server returns unknown SMTP codes. Apart from these, if there is any unknown SMTP code, then it will actually try to resend the email. So roles that can view email in the activity formatter when including send received emails. So if you go to a shipping case record, in the shipping case record, we have activity filters here. Activities filters here. This is called activity. In this activity, in this activity here, when ServiceNow sends an email, so here I should show ServiceNow has sent an email, something like that. If you want to see that, you have to add, you can see email correspondence, email auto generated. So you have added emails auto generated. So as you have added emails auto generated here, what happens whenever an email is sent out from this particular card, it will show it in the activity log. So to see that, you should have permission. You should have any of these roles. So roles that can view email in the activity formatter when including send receive emails. Okay. So number of journal entries. You remember, did I explain about journal entry field? Did I explain about journal entry field? Everyone? Okay. So this field is a journal entry field. Additional comments is a journal entry field. So here, this description field and additional comments field both are looking like same. But whenever I enter value here, the description field hold this value. The additional comments will not hold this value. So I'm adding test record here. I'm adding test record here. In both the fields, I'm adding these values. So description field hold this value. The additional comments will not hold this value. If you scroll down, in the description field, the value is as it is. In the additional comments, is there test record value as it is? No. Then where is this test record value is going? Okay. So this field is actually a field type is this additional comments field type is journal input. Journal input. All the journal inputs will be stored in a separate table. The table name is sys underscore You can say shipping case, additional comments, this particular record, value is test record. Whenever you enter something in the journal field, that will be created in the journal entries. That will be created in the journal entries. Okay, I am going to add one more thing. Now you can see second journal entry is added, test record 1. Okay. So likewise, you can enter as many journal entries as you can. Okay. Suppose you want to show additional comments field value on the email notification. So in the email body, here like description, short description, if you want to show the journal entry field value. So journal entry has multiple values, right? Not only one value. If short description or description, it has only one value, one current value. So journal entry has lot of values. If you want to show the journal entry, if you want to show the additional comments in the email body, at email additional comments is a journal field, right? How many journal entries we have to show? So in the email properties, that is what written here. So number of journal entries, additional comments, work notes, etc., included email notification. -1 means all. So if you keep -1, it will show all the journal entries that you added on the record will be shown. If you use one, only one journal entry, latest will be shown. Getting my point? This is actually about outbound email properties. This is actually inbound email property. So when when this checkbox is checked, ServiceNow can receive the email. So like we all have email addresses, ServiceNow has its own email address. Every ServiceNow instance has its own email address. If you send an email to that particular email address, ServiceNow receives that email address. ServiceNow can also recognize that that is a replied email or forwarded email or new email. So if the subject contains these prefixes RE colon, AW colon, R colon, accepted colon, tentative colon, declined colon, case colon, then ServiceNow recognize that as replied email. If the subject contains FW colon, subject prefix contains FW colon, FWD colon, ServiceNow recognize this as forwarded email. If this subject is not starting with RE colon, FW colon, ServiceNow will consider that as a new email. Okay. And here automatically create a users for incoming emails from trusted domains. Suppose you are sending an email from your email address. If your email address is not there in the ServiceNow user emails, if your email is not there in the ServiceNow user emails, okay, so it will automatically create a user account for you. You're getting my point? I am trying to send an email from my email address to ServiceNow email address. If my email address is not there in the ServiceNow user emails, it will automatically create a user account. Okay. So trusted domains. So here, what are all the domains that ServiceNow should accept? So if I send an email from Gmail, it should accept. Star means if I provide star, it will accept email from all the domains. Only from gmail.com, only from tcs.com, only from wipro.com, only from cognizant.com. It should accept means you will apply that restriction here. You should apply that restriction here. Okay. You're getting my point, right? So trusted domains when creating new users from incoming email. Ignore from the untrusted domains unless for an existing user. Use star for all domains. So any domain from any domain, if you send an email, ServiceNow should accept means you'll use star here. So when you are sending an email, it will check if that email address is already there. So then if the checkbox is checked, it will create the user account. If the checkbox is not checked, it will not create a user account. So these are the email properties, guys. These are the email properties. So as I told you, we have outbound emails. When ServiceNow send out an email, that is called outbound email. When ServiceNow receives an email, that is called inbound email. But we are supposed to start inbound email actions topic today, but we haven't started. We'll discuss inbound email actions in tomorrow's session. Okay. So, well, here we have seen in outbound email properties. If the checkbox is not checked, ServiceNow won't send email out to the email inboxes. And we have seen if you want to append the time zone, visible watermark, and resend the email. These all are email properties. Okay. Okay. Now we will understand how the inbound email actions will work. You all know, I told you, in a ServiceNow table, we can create the records from the different sources. I told you. One is actually from the form. One is actually using script. Another one is using Excel sheet. Okay. So guys, we did discuss about import sets, right? Import sets topic we discussed. Import sets, transform maps. We didn't discuss import sets. Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll discuss that. So what I meant to say here is when ServiceNow receives an email, okay, ServiceNow also can create the record. So that means I told you the other day, you can create the records from the external systems. You can create the records from the form, script, email, Excel sheet, record producer. I told different ways. Okay. So here, how to create the record when an email is sent to ServiceNow? If you send an email to ServiceNow, ServiceNow receives that email. When ServiceNow receives that email, how does it create the record in the table? So through inbound email actions, we can create a record. First of all, you will send out an email to ServiceNow email address. ServiceNow receives that email address. Once ServiceNow receives that email address, this inbound email action will run. So once this inbound email action is run, it will actually create a record on the particular table that you mentioned. Okay. So using inbound email actions, when ServiceNow receives an email, inbound email actions will run. It will actually create the record. Okay. You're getting my point. So that inbound email actions, we'll discuss it in tomorrow is Friday, right? Tomorrow is Friday. Okay. So tomorrow we'll have to discuss a different topic, guys. Okay. Inbound email actions we'll discuss on Monday. Hmm? Clear, right? So you have got an idea about emails concept. Hmm? Everyone? I'm unmuting everyone. You can ask your questions now. Anil, any questions?
Yeah, no, the has for now, no.
This emails concept is interesting or not?
Yes, the interesting is this.
So I gave you one task, right? How many of you guys have got chance to complete that?
Yesterday, I think, right, Uday?
Yes.
Yeah, I have done from my side. Yesterday, I mean, we got some issue with the sheet and myself disconnected.
You are able to complete that?
Yes, Uday.
Very good. So can you share your screen and show it?
And no, this is 1 second. It will take 1 minute time.
Okay. So, however, I'll explain that. So, first of all, guys, we have to create an email script. For that, you have to create an email script. Okay. What is the requirement I told you? When whenever you are trying to create an incident, when the incident is created, the caller has how many closed incidents? Those closed incidents should be shown in the email notification body is what I told you, right? So then we have to write a glide record here. Okay. Then you have to query the incident table. Okay. And the condition is gr dot add inactive query. Add inactive query means which are in the closed state. Which are in the closed state. Or you can also use gr dot add query state comma close or six or some number. You can choice value you can provide. And here caller will be the current caller ID. Okay. So there will be multiple records, right? Then what I'm doing is I'm using while loop here. Okay. So this you have to store in the template dot print. Okay. Template dot print. Why do we have to write it in the template dot print? Because it will actually carry the value from email script to email notification. Okay.
Yeah, I'm unable to hear you, what you are saying.
I am not speaking actually. Okay. Now you see here, what am I doing? First of all, I am actually querying the incident table where closed incident. And caller is the current caller. Getting my point? And I am actually creating a HTML table using table tag. Okay. I am taking 3 columns. One is actually number, short description, and state. So let us say David Miller. David Miller has 3 closed incidents, right? So while loop will iterate 3 times. 3 rows will be created. Suppose David Miller has 10 incidents which are in the closed state. So this while loop will go through 10 times. It will create 10 rows. Suppose David Miller has 7 incidents which are closed. Okay. So this while loop will loop through 7 times. It will create 7 rows in the table. Getting my point? Hmm? You are clear, right? So template.print in the template.print, I am writing HTML here. This HTML to carry the HTML from email script to email notification, we'll use template object is what we discussed, right? Hope this is clear for everyone. So this is how you will complete the task, guys. Hmm? You're clear? Clear or not, guys?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So we'll discuss reports and dashboards topic in tomorrow session.